Hey guys, how's it going? I'm back with another video, and this video is not going to be music related. As you could probably tell by my Alabama jersey, college football is literally right around the corner. Well, actually it's already started, but the main week one actually starts tomorrow, and as I said in a previous video, I was going to be bringing college football related stuff to the channel, and this is going to be my first video on that. And what I've done is I've picked out 7 games that are happening in week 1 that really stood out to me. And of course I'm going to be talking about my Alabama team, because I am an Alabama fan. Now, I don't claim to know, what's going to happen in these games or anything like that. These are merely just predictions. So I don't want anyone in the comments talking about, oh, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. I'm fully aware that I don't know what I'm talking about. Okay? But anyway, what I've done is I've picked 7 games from week 1. Not just games that are happening on Saturday, but I've also picked a game from Sunday and Monday as well. So without further ado, let's get started. I'm just going to go ahead and start with Alabama versus Louisville, because Alabama is my college football team. I'm from Alabama, so it kind of goes hand in hand for me. I don't think Alabama's going to lose this game at all. Louisville, they lost Lamar Jackson, and I know they say that one man doesn't make a team, but let's be honest, Lamar Jackson was Louisville for those last couple of seasons. And now that they don't have him, I don't think they're going to be as successful. I mean, they could potentially, be a good football team, but I don't think it's going to start out well for them. I see Alabama winning this game by a pretty big margin. In the next game, and this is actually going to be my upset alert of the week, and it's a game that I found rather interesting, and I didn't know that these two teams were actually playing. It's Ole Miss versus Texas Tech. Now, the reason I say that this is an upset is because I'm actually picking Texas Tech to upset Ole Miss. Now, the reason I say that is because I know that Ole Miss has had some struggles these last couple of seasons in the SEC, and I don't really see them doing a whole lot in SEC play or just in general. I mean, I think they could have a pretty good season, maybe like a 7-8 win season, but I don't think it's going to start off the way that they're hoping for, and I think that I'm pretty sure this game is actually at Ole Miss, so it gives them home field advantage, but I don't really believe in home field advantage, to be honest. I don't think it's out of reach for Texas Tech to walk in there and defeat Ole Miss. Yeah, that's my upset alert of the week. Texas Tech over Ole Miss. It probably won't happen, but hey, that's what makes these predictions so fun. You never really know what's going to happen. Just because you predict something doesn't mean it's actually going to happen. Which, like I said, that's what makes it fun. Okay, moving on. Next, we have a top 10 matchup. You got number 6 Washington versus number 9 Auburn. And this is going to be one of the games to watch, definitely. This is a toss-up for me. I mean, my best friend is an Auburn fan. And I'm not just saying this to, butter up to him or anything. And I've already told him this before, but I'm actually picking Auburn to upset Washington. And I don't really consider that to be much of an upset because both of these teams are well matched. They're both top 10 teams and they're both phenomenal programs. So I wouldn't consider that an upset at all. I think it's going to be a very close game. I think this is going to be one of the closest games of week 1. I think that Auburn will win. And I think what this is going to come down to is quarterbacks. You got Stidham from Auburn and you got Browning from Washington. Two really good quarterbacks. But I think that Auburn's going to find a way to pull it out. Like I said, I think Auburn wins by no less than 7 or 10 points. I think that's how close it's going to be. Okay, next up, we have West Virginia versus Tennessee. Now, a lot of people are probably writing off Tennessee the moment I said their name. And I can understand why, because Tennessee has really done nothing of prominence the last 10 or so seasons. But, you know, I do think that Tennessee has a chance in this game, actually. I'm not going to say that they're going to beat West Virginia, but I do think that they have a chance. I mean, they have a new coach, Jeremy Pruitt, you know. And I know that first-year coaches, it's usually the rebuilding year. You know, they end up having a mediocre season, and then as the seasons go on, they start to find their footing. But I don't think it's out of the question that Tennessee can put up a fight against West Virginia. But at the end of the day, I just think that West Virginia is just stronger overall. I mean, they have a very good tenured head coach in Dana Holgorsen, and they have a lot of depth. Yet Will Grier, the quarterback, who is in contention for the Heisman, you know, at least I think he is. I'm pretty sure he is. So I think West Virginia is going to beat Tennessee, but I don't think it's going to be a total blowout. I expect Tennessee to put up maybe 14 points, maybe. I say West Virginia will win probably, I'd say 35-14. That's my overall prediction for that game. Okay, next we have Notre Dame versus Michigan. Now this is the game that College Game Day is going to be at, and I think that's a really interesting pick for Week 1 for College Game Day. And it's going to be at Notre Dame. There was some confusion between me and my best friend about if this is going to be a neutral site game, because you know, our teams, Alabama and Auburn, are playing at a neutral site. So there was some confusion over that, but I found out this game's going to be played at Notre Dame. And since that's the case, I mean, this is another toss-up, you know, another good top 25 matchup. I'm actually going to go with Notre Dame on this one. I don't really have a reason why, but, I mean, and I know I just got through saying that home field advantage doesn't mean much, but Notre Dame is one of those franchises that has a lot of respect and a lot of history behind them. And, you know, I know Notre Dame has had slumps of mediocrity in the past, but I think those days are over. And I think that Notre Dame is going to have a good season, and I think that they're going to beat Michigan. Another really close game, but I think Notre Dame's going to do it. They'll find a way somehow. Okay, now we're going to move on to a Sunday night game, and that is LSU versus Miami. Now, I've said, and I've been talking to my best friend about this for a couple of weeks now, but this LSU versus Miami game, in my opinion, is going to be the game of the week. I have said this ever since I found out that this was going to be an opening game. And I think Miami's going to win. I mean, I do like LSU. You know, my dad was an LSU fan, diehard LSU fan, for like almost his whole life. But I do think that Miami is the better team, and I think that Miami is going to do a lot of what they did last year, and that's dominate. Now, I know they got destroyed by Pittsburgh at the very end of their season. I'm aware of that. That was just one bump in the road. I think they're going to amend that this season. I think they could possibly have another 10, 11 win season like they did last year. So Miami over LSU, another close game. there's going to be a lot of close games this weekend. I would say Miami's going to win by 7 points or less. And finally, the final game I'm going to talk about is a game coming on Monday night, and that's Virginia Tech versus Florida State. Now, Florida State, I mean, they really fell apart last season. I mean, losing their quarterback DeAndre Francois to that injury against Alabama. You know, they never were quite the same after that. And now that Jimbo Fisher has left to go to Texas A&M, that's their head coach. I know a lot of you are, a lot of you on my channel aren't football fans, so this is all probably going way over your head. But just bear with me. I'll go back to music in the next video. But anyway, you know, Jimbo Fisher used to be the head coach of Florida State. Now he's at Texas A&M, and they bring in Willie Taggart. Now, do I think that Florida State is going to beat Virginia Tech just because they have a new head coach? I don't think so. I think it's going to take time for Willie Taggart to really establish his coaching there, and I think that Virginia Tech is going to win this. I'm not going to say it's going to be a hands-down victory for him, but I think it's going to be another close game. I mean, they did a really good job with these matchups. A lot of great games this weekend. But anyway, I know I gave some score predictions and some I didn't. That's just because some of these are too close to call. But anyway, those are my predictions for week 1. Like I said, I only picked 6 or 7 games that look interesting to me or that have had the most hype surrounding the games. But yeah, let me know if you guys want to keep doing this. To the football fans who end up stumbling on this video, I want you to leave a comment. Tell me what your game of the week is. Tell me what you're looking forward to about these games. You know, tell me who your favorite team is. I'd really love to know and grow this channel when it comes to football. Anyway, I'll see you guys next time. Take care.